ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ತೈನ್ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಿದೆ. ದಾಳಿ ಪ್ರತಿದಾಳಿಯಿಂದಾಗಿ ಸಾವಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯುದ್ಧ ಭೂಮಿಯಿಂದ ಹಲವು ವಿಶೇಷ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಇದೇ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅತಿಥಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಮಿ ಬೆನ್-ಹೇಮ್, ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಭಾರತದ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸುಲ್ ಜನರಲ್. ಇವರನ್ನು ನಾನೀಗ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Tammy Ben-Haim, thanks for joining with us in this crucial time. We are appreciating actually. And startingly, we would like to know what's the exact situation right now in Israel and what direction you received from Israel government.
Yes, thank you very much for taking the time and reporting about this heinous, horrible
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, madam.
attack.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I also would like to thank both Prime Minister Modi and the people and different position holders within India who have been since yesterday showing their support and, praying for Israel's strength and standing alongside us in trying to fight back against this horrible, horrific terror attack. So you asked what happened. So yesterday morning, terrorists from Gaza Strip, they control Gaza, the Hamas terror organization that is backed by Iran, infiltrated Israel. And they went to attack, and they still are attacking. They're attacking civilians. They're attacking Israeli people. They're attacking unarmed men, women, children. They're attacking disabled people and are even taking them back as hostages into Gaza. They have killed over 300 people, have injured also gravely and critically over 1,800 people have been injured, and the fighting is still going on. Israel will be strong, Israel will persevere, and Israel will keep doing what it has to do to protect its citizens and protect the country of Israel, just like India would have done or any other country would do in a similar situation.
It's a wrong question, or I really don't know how to ask, because what is your position right now, and how are your family, and
Yes,
how
sir.
are you dealing with all this?
So
Are you able to hear me, Tammy?
now I can hear you, yes.
Tammy, it's not a right question to ask, but yet we want to know how is your status right now, and how are your family, and have you established contact with your family, and where are they right now? Are they safe right now?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking this. Yes, my immediate family is more in the center of Israel, so they are safe for now. They're in shelter because there are alarms going off, because there are rockets being fired from Gaza, and now also from the Hezbollah terror organization in the north of Israel. But I have to tell you, my more extended family and my friends, Israel is a very small country. We're only 10 million people, the size of Bangalore population. So all my friends, either, the father is now called to the army, their sons, their brothers are called to go to the army. People who don't, they have family, they have friends. I know people who are now in these villages and towns in the south of Israel who are being held hostage or who have been injured. Every single person in Israel knows somebody or is part of the family of somebody who has been killed, who has been taken hostage, or who has been injured by these terrorists.
I mean, it's all other media out there report that there is some internal conflict in the government right now. So for that reason, Hamas have dared to attack on Israel. Is this true or not?
I cannot tell you if it's true, but I can tell you I've been a diplomat for many years, and this is, I think, the most horrible attack I remember, but we've had attacks before. I've seen many people try to explain why the terror organization Hamas attacked today or why it's attacked last time, and it saw a good time to attack. I have to be very clear. Terror organizations, especially those backed by Iran, whether it's Hezbollah in the north or Hamas in Gaza, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care for an excuse. They don't care for a reason. If they're ready, if they see an opportunity, if they decide they want to, they attack. So you may be right, and maybe some situation is happening, but it doesn't matter. Anytime they find and they can and they think they can, they attack. And this is the situation. Yesterday in Israel was Saturday morning. Saturday is anyway the weekly day of prayer. Jewish people go to temple Saturday morning, and in addition to just being any other Saturday, it was also one of our high holidays. We're in a festival, in a Jewish festival season. So also due to that, it's a Saturday. People are in temple. People are walking to temple. They attacked, women. They attacked families going to temple to pray. So it doesn't matter what the situation is. Terror is terror, and terror will attack. And we don't need to find what reason or what excuse. It doesn't matter. They always find their excuse. And the thing is, they attacked yesterday, and more than 24 hours after, it's still going on. People are still being hurt.
Tammy, from yesterday we are observing and we are seeing what exactly happening in Israel. The retaliation is very strong against Hamas. So are you aware of it? Do you have any idea about it? Any words want to share?
Yes, the Israel Defense Force, the Israel Army, and Israel in general will do what it can to restore the peace, to restore the quiet, to get the hostages out of Gaza and out of the hands of Hamas. We'll do what we do. This is not something we started. This is something that was brought upon us by a terror organization. And like any other country, we will do what we have to do to protect our citizens.
Okay, one more question. What exactly they need? As an Israel citizen, you know very well what Hamas actually need. Why again and again they are targeting Israel?
Look, Hamas has never been shy about it. One of their main goals, and it's a terror organization, in 2005, Israel left the Gaza Strip. We took out everybody. We took out the army. We took out the people who were living there. We dismantled our temples. We dismantled burial grounds. We took everything out and left Gaza. And sadly, a year after that, the Hamas, that is a terror organization, took Gaza over. And basically what it's doing, it's using the millions of people who live in Gaza. They're using the money brought in by people who want to do good in Gaza, but also the money brought in by Iran. And Iran is bringing the money in for this purpose, for one of their main goals of this terror organization, and it is to destroy Israel. They're very clear about it.
Tammy, you used a specific word called surprise attack, and I would take you back to 50 years back, and which specifically something happened that is called Arab-Israeli War, also called as Yom Kippur War. So Yom Kippur, the word means the surprise attack, and it was led by Egyptian and Syrian forces. And do you think what happened yesterday was just a coincidence, or do you believe that anything in geopolitical movement or in geopolitical actions is called as coincidence, or how do you see this? Do you see this as coincidence or perfectly planned attack?
I want to say Yom Kippur, as I said yesterday, was Saturday and one of our holidays. Yom Kippur is our holiest of holidays. And you're right, 50 years ago in 1973, October 6th, it was both a Saturday and Yom Kippur, and it was war, and we were attacked. And the same or a very similar thing happened yesterday. I'm not a strategist. I'm not a military person, but I think all of us can tell that the plan of this terror organization of Hamas was planned. It wasn't an impromptu thing. It was a planned attack, and and we're suffering the consequences of it at the moment. I don't know if they thought of the date. I don't know this, but the results and what is happening now in Israel and the suffering of these women who were taken hostage and some of them killed, and of these children and of these civilians. And, I'm sure you've seen some of the horrific videos coming out like I have. This is the result. This is the result of a terror organization attacking Israel. And you're right, they attacked in a timing that's even worse.
It's a tough time for all Israelis since they have started the Zionist movement. And how are you dealing with this even till today? Because you have Lebanon around you, have Syria, you have Jordan, and we receive that Lebanon have started a fresh attack, and also now Hezbollah have joined the
It's
game. And
Hezbollah.
how do you see all this events?
It's Hezbollah. We just to be clear, Hezbollah is another terror organization also funded and supplied by Iran. So you see the similarities here of Hamas and Hezbollah, who are funded, supplied, trained by Iran. And Iran has said it very clearly that they want to destroy Israel. We know that Hezbollah and Hamas also, as I've said, want to destroy Israel. And of course, they're taking this opportunity. It's horrible, and we can't imagine it. But terror forces, they see that they have a chance. This is exactly also was my answer for the previous question. Why did they attack now? They look for chances all the time, and this is one of their goals. And we need to understand it. In Israel, for 75 years, we have been dealing with people who claim and want and are trying to destroy us. We've persevered before. You spoke about the Yom Kippur War. We won the Yom Kippur War, and we won it in a big way, and we'll do the same now. But the suffering of the civilians, the suffering of the women and of the children, this needs to be on the forefront of our minds. This is not an army. This is a terror organization going and targeting people, targeting civilians, targeting the weak people in our society. This is just it's an uneven. And then what do? They run back to Gaza and hide behind their own civilians and use them as human shields to protect themselves. This needs to be stopped, and Israel is doing what it can to stop it, to restore the peace. And we need the support of like-minded countries, just like India, that understand terror, that understand that we need to stand together in order to stop these terrorists.
Yes, Tammy, apart from this retaliate, counter, recounter, what result you are expecting right now?
I think the results we are all looking for is to bring the hostages back. There are dozens of hostages taken by Hamas. So to bring them back and restore security, both in the south of Israel, where Hamas, it's near Gaza and Hamas, and in the north of Israel, where you correctly said that Hezbollah is shooting rockets since the morning into Israel. I think this is where we need to look for.
At that point of time, I wanted to ask this: that we are receiving a news from our agencies that few hostages which Hamas have captured inside Israeli land have been freed by IDF. Is this true?
IDF is going, yes, IDF and our forces are going to the different villages and towns where the terrorists they took their hostages, locked themselves up in houses and apartments. Yes, they're going, and slowly we have a few only centers left where the fighting is still taking place, because most of the places have been freed from the terrorists. But you're right. I am, we're both being updated together from the same sources. But yes, there's still some fighting going on, and most of the hostages that were held within Israel, I'm not talking about the ones being taken back or that were taken back to Gaza, in Israel have been those who could have been released, except for a couple of other centers where the fighting is still going on with the terrorists.
Tammy, already Benjamin Netanyahu declared it as a national emergency. So Israeli people and Israeli citizens, what exactly instructions they are receiving from Israel government?
At the moment, the people in south of Israel and the people in the south are asked to not leave their homes in Israel, because, like you said, we have been under basically attack for all of our existence, for all of 75 years, also previously, but the 75 years of the state of Israel. So most houses and apartments within Israel have a safe room, have a room that's built, very sadly and regrettably, that this is our reality, but for these types of events. So at the moment, those who are in the south are asked to stay in the safe rooms, in their shelters, and not come out. In the north, because of the rocket shooting of Hezbollah, people are asked to either stay in their shelters or start making their way more to the center Israel. But we must keep in mind, as I said, we're a small population. Israel is a small country. And right now we're being attacked from two fronts, from two terror organizations. And it's a very, very hard I would say horrific situation, what's happening now.
One important question is that, see, you have everything. You have strongest military with you. You have strongest minds with you. You have the strongest technology with you. You have everything. And despite that, do you think there is a failure of intelligence in your country? Because the video surfaced by, video released by Hamas in around April, saying that they are giving an alert that they'll be attacking Israel very soon. And despite this video being made viral, why didn't Israel take a look at this?
I understand your question, but one, it's not a question for me. I'm sure people who are much more in and smarter than me and who deal with this will deal with this one day. I think right now the focus needs to be to stop this attack. Questions can be asked later, and as I said, there will be a lot, people who know and who are in who will answer this and will figure it out. But right now, what we need to concentrate on is stopping this terror attack that's basically still going on.
No,
and terrorists and terrorist groups.
That said, we agree, but we are only concerned about Israel because, as you know, that India is Israel's friends, and we stand with Israel right now in this tough times, and we'll stand with anybody. I mean, we are we are having a friendly relationship with Israel as well. So we are not keeping you in a uncomfortable situation right now, but we stand with Israel right now.
No, I appreciate this and I know this. And as I said, we feel this from all levels of our friends here in India. And it really is helping us stay strong and it helping us gather our national strength and our inner strength and fight the terror attack. But this is one of the lessons we need to learn. Terrorism or terror groups or the lone terrorists is at times, no matter how many defenses you have, you can't stop it. And we need to all stand together, stand strong together, and stop this.
Yes, Tammy, before I finish, one final question to you. What's the final words of yours right now? The situation going is very crucial in Israel. What's your final comment on this?
Yeah. Looking from here, it's so hard for me, as a mother, as an Israeli, as to see what is happening to my friends' families, what is happening to my neighbors and, to people I know in Israel. And, I can do my job, which is help spread the word, help explain that we all need to fight terror together. And of course, keep everybody in my heart, keep everybody in my prayers, and hope that we all here in India do the same and, wish for this and hope and pray that this finishes very soon.
Yes, thank you very much, Tammy, for your time. Hoping for the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಭಾರತದ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸುಲ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಮಿ ಬೆನ್ಹೇಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಜ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಮರಳಬೇಕು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಆಶಯವನ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇದೇ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಹಮಾಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪೂರ್ವ ನಿಯೋಜಿತವಾ ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಎಸ್ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ,
ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಅವರು ಏನೇನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಷ್ಟದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಬಲಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, 300ಕ್ಕೂ ಅಧಿಕ ಜನರು ಈಗೇನು ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೃತರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 1800 ಅಧಿಕ ಮಂದಿಗೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಗಾಯ ಆಗೋಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಅವರ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಕುಟುಂಬ ರೈಟ್ ನೋ ಸುರಕ್ಷಿತ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ, ಆಶ್ರಯ ಪಡೆದಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋಂಗೆ ಅವರಿಲ್ಲೇ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸುಲ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಮಿ ಬೆನ್ಹೇಮ್ ಬಹಳ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ ರಿವೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರು. ಅದೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಣ್ಣ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಹಲವಾರು ಉಗ್ರರು ಇವರು ವಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಉಗ್ರರು, ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟು, ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಉಗ್ರರು ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಥ ದಾಳಿಯನ್ನ ನಾನು ಎಂದೂ ಕಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಲ್ ಅವೀವ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗೆ IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸು IFS ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಓದಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರೋರು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಎಂದೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಥರ ದಾಳಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇದು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಶ್ರೀಪಾದ್. ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು, ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ವೃದ್ಧರ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಯಾನಕವಾಗಿ ದಾಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮನುಷ್ಯರೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ನೊಂದುಕೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಒತ್ತೆಯಾಳುಗಳನ್ನು ಹಮಾಸ್ ಹಿಡಿತದಿಂದ ಹೊರತರಲು ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಗಳು ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾವೆ. IDF ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವರು ವಿಲೇಜ್ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಊರುಗಳಿಗೆ ನುಗ್ಗಿ ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ಶ್ರೀಪಾದ್.
ಹಲವು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರು ರಾಯಭಾರಿ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಥ ದಾಳಿಯನ್ನ ನೋಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಹಜ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಮರಳಲಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಆಶಯ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು.